Hey guys, Omni here. The Resident Evil train just keeps on giving. So Deadline dropped a report to us that not only are we getting a new entry in the game series with Resident Evil Village, not only are we getting a live action series from Netflix, not only are we getting a new CGI film set in the Resident Evil universe with Infinite Darkness, which we reacted to the trailer a couple weeks ago, a couple days ago, whatever, I don't know. Time is just getting away from me at this point. And supposedly I did read somewhere in the mix of all this news that there's even a CGI Resident Evil show that's somewhat in the works, but I haven't seen a lot of information on that one. But today, Deadline reported that we are getting a live-action reboot of the films coming from the producer, director of 47 Meters Down. And this will actually be, unlike the Paul W.S. Anderson films with Mia Jovovich, these will actually be adaptations of the first two games, which actually has me excited. And they announced pretty much the full cast of these movies, at least the major cast of the films. And they're not some bad picks. I'm familiar with most of them, and I like quite a few of these people that they've got picked up here. So just to kind of go into this, because they really wanted to double down onto it, and we'll talk a little bit about what they're saying about the direction they want to take with it. But we have our Claire Redfield, played by Kaya Scodelario, who you might know mostly from the most recent Maze Runner films, as well as Crawl, which was she was the best part of that movie, which I quite enjoyed. That movie was really good. Of course, she is also, what I first know her from was from Skins, which is a UK show that was really, really good. We have our Jill Valentine, which is Ant-Man and the Wasp's Hannah John-Kamen. Our Chris Redfield, played by our Arrowverse alum Robbie Amell. And then we have Tom Hooper from Umbrella Academy, cast as Albert Wesker. Yvonne Hogia? I don't know how to say that. He was the stoner from Zombieland Double Tap, playing Leon S. Kennedy. And it's also being reported that Neil McDonough, also another Arrowverse alum from probably not one of the most well-remembered seasons of Arrow, playing William Birkin. That case. I think it's really surprising that we got the cast announcement. This is from Deadline. This isn't like we got this covered or anything like this. And this is coming from the writer, director, the producer of the films, Johannes Roberts, and talking about how this is going to be a story set in 1998 on the fateful night in Raccoon City. So I'm going to go into some quotes coming from the people behind this, to kind of give them the direction that they're going in with this. With this movie, I really wanted to go back to the original first two games and recreate the terrifying, visceral experience I had when I first played them, whilst at the time telling a grounded human story about a small, dying American town that feels both relatable and relevant to today's audience, said Roberts. And he goes on to say, after dozens of games, 6 live-action movies, and hundreds of pages of fan fiction, we felt compelled to return to the year 1998 to explore the secrets hidden in the walls of the Spencer Mansion and Raccoon City. So I am really excited, because that's when anybody hears that a video game of theirs is being adapted, what they want is not something that has the name of the game, has some things you might recognize from the game, but is really nothing like the games whatsoever. You're not really going to be capturing your audience. You're not capturing the people that grew up with this stuff. And I think that's what happened with the first set. I was going to say original, but there is no original Resident Evil films. The first set of Resident Evil films is that I think the first one captured the most of the mood of what Resident Evil is, but the more it went along, it just became a farce. And honestly, I did watch all of them, and it's because they just kept getting more and more ridiculous. They were over the top. They were nonsensical, aside from the zombies and some characters who shared names with their video game counterparts. It didn't resemble the series whatsoever. But they were fun. They were terrible films. They were god-awful movies, but they were a lot of fun to watch, at least. And it also gives me some concern and we didn't cover it, but there was a teaser trailer for the Monster Hunter trailer, which is also coming from Paul W.S. Anderson and also starring Mia Jovovich. And at least the monster in that looked pretty close to what you might see in one of the games. So again, we've got her in there and a bunch of guns. So I'm not sure. Of course, we'll see how that one pans out. Maybe there's some lesson learned going out through there, but it seems like they truly want to make a good adaptation of this. And we're seeing, video game movies start to move in this direction of being closer to what it feels like to be part of the games, because now I think games themselves, and even games back then when Resident Evil came out, they were made to be a cinematic kind of storytelling with gameplay involved. When a lot of people think of video games in general, at least what I feel like in the marketing world like this is like beep boop pop pop kind of Mario Bedoing stuff, which very rarely has anything concrete on any level of what you might consider a story. So like when you have adaptations of that, you end up with stuff like Super Mario Brothers, the movie. Mortal Kombat, I thought, was pretty close to being like, honestly, I think up until this point, up until let's say like Detective Pikachu, it's been one of the most closely adapted video game movies we've seen. I didn't see the more recent Tomb Raider movie, but it seems like, at least from the talk, because you can be all talk all you want when you're talking about something and promoting an idea of something, but it sounds like they have a good idea of what the series is about and what you can do about it, and what people honestly really wanted to see. When we first saw that Resident Evil was something that was going to be made, I'm not going to lie. When I first saw the trailers, I was like, I'm not connecting any of these things to anything familiar. He's like, yeah, there's a mansion. I was like, who's that? Is that supposed to be Jill? Doesn't look like Jill. It's not Claire. Who are you? Who are these people? Where are we? This clearly isn't the Spencer mansion, just some other mansion. But I don't know. We'll see. I have high hopes for this. I think I hope it'll be interesting. I haven't seen 47 meters down, so I don't know the quality of work that goes behind this, but I'm open to seeing something that actually kind of adapts something a little bit closer, more in line to what we love, what I love. The storyline, the characters, and the series that I hold very close to my heart. Since I remember seeing the trailers, the commercials when the very first game came out, and playing it with my friends when the first game came out, and just being scared shitless going through that mansion. Good times, man. Good times. That's what I love about it. Survival horror, when it's still gritty, down, dirty, and terrifying, it can be done really well. So I hope they do it. I hope they do us some justice. But Chris Redfield, Robbie Amell, I can see it. I like the casting. I think a lot of the casting in here is like some pretty solid, good choices. I know they're all solid performers. So it's no doubt in my mind that they'd be able to perform. I just hope the quality of the material's there. I hope the budget's there for what we need. And I hope the writing and the script are just where we need it. Just, it shouldn't be that hard. The game is right there for you to adapt. It's already plays out like a movie. You just got to trim out the fat, and there you go. You got a movie. So what do you guys think? Are you guys excited about the news? Share your thoughts down in the comments below. We'll carry on the conversation after the video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys next time. Take care, everybody.